We are back with the 12 days of Christmas, day 2. And of course, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all. I hope each and every one of you guys is enjoying their holiday season and not stressing out too much about finals, work, or getting or buying gifts. Please don't do that. Just enjoy the holiday season. Enjoy the 12 days of Christmas here on the Disney Docket channel. And of course, day 2 already. Wow. 1/6 of the way done with the entire series. But of course, here we have Sarge, Andrew Vrooman, and Fillmore ready to unbox the second gift of Christmas. Looks like Andrew Vrooman's got a few gifts in his trunk there himself. So he's decked out for Christmas. So let's move them off to the side here while we take a look-see at what is inside. Not too much of a surprise, though, for those who looked at the thumbnail, which is probably about everybody. It is, of course, Emily Engine, yet another presumed cancellation. Now, of course, if you saw my previous day on the Black Neon McQueen, that is also a presumed cancellation. But who knows, Mattel could surprise us, as I tried to surprise you there. But likely they're canceled because they're made in China, and literally Mattel is moving everything to Vietnam and Thailand, mostly Thailand though. And these are all made in China, which I find incredibly strange because Emily Engine here was on the poster for the 2019 year, and every single other car on the poster with her was made in Thailand. So it literally is just mind-boggling. But before we get into the review, I want to thank Bloost for this suggestion. Thank you very much. Again, another car that I wanted to review, but I never really got around to it despite receiving it a couple months ago. So thanks for letting me do that. And let's just dive right in here. Now, of course, she did appear at the Cotterpin Bar and Grill with Andrew Vrooman. You know, you have Sweet Tea, Vandenker, and Xanadu bumpers, but she was off to the back, I believe, talking with maybe, was it Jen Tan Sedan, somebody along those lines. And then after her, we would only need one other car from the entire Cotterpin to have every single buddy in that bar at that time, besides the band members, which actually some of those will be released. So who knows? We may actually get some uncancellations of Emily Engine. We may actually end up getting a Thailand release of her. But for now, it seems that a Chinese prototype cancel car is all we're going to get. And as I'm recording this, there are still Emily's on eBay. So if you want one, please go ahead and get one. I want you guys to have them and not the scalpers that will resell them on eBay a year from now for $200. Now, as always, they have these little engraving prototype codes. And if you run your finger across it, this is probably one of the most notable ones that you could feel is engraved. So there's 133. I was lucky enough to get a few more. 128 and 129. So very close to each other. It would have been cool if I got all three in a row. But 133 over here had to be the outlier, of course. Now, she is the same model, appears to be, as Todd Crash here. But, you know, since Todd is a Thailand car and Emily is a China car, they aren't technically the same model, but they are very, very, very similar. So we're going to focus solely, though, on Emily right now, taking a look at her amazing expression. So she's very happy looking there. I love the smile. You got the grill there with the headlights on either side. She is extremely rusty and kind of weathered down over the years, which makes sense. You know, Cotterpin is in a rural town, being Thomasville, so you're not driving through metropolitan areas, you're driving through gravel and dirt. She also has lived there probably her entire life. So I love the dirt detailing on the tires here. This is an extremely finished prototype. I mean, you have the rust and oxidation on this door, which looks a little bluer than the rest of her. So phenomenal detailing on Emily. I really do hope she gets released. And for Thailand, you know, they could do a phenomenal job with her because there aren't any decals. It's all paint. So there would be none of that grainy business. On the back here, you can see the little trunk emblem there, which seems to have like wings on it. So I don't know what car she would be modeled after. Todd Crash has that same thing, but it's not quite as noticeable. And then you have that little circle there below it and the taillights. It appears to be, okay, the bumpers are separate pieces. but they aren't part of the base. Made in China. Mattel, no date stamp though. Remember, no date stamp means prototype. Another cool thing about it is that you kind of have the silver trim along the windows that is faded out for the most part. You can still kind of see it though, especially on this side. So that's a really nice detailing. They did a phenomenal job with her, down to the doorknobs and the side view mirrors as well. You can see that the detailing on this side is different from over here too. So really a phenomenal job with Emily. And it's too bad that she seems to be falling by the wayside. Now comparing her a little bit closely here with Todd Crash. Very similar. Both are beat up. Todd has a green hood though, whereas it seems like Emily has retained all of her original parts. The taillights are a little redder than on Emily. I think Todd is one of the best tiling cars just because, you know, it's all dirt detailing and rust. There's no decals that they could grainy on up, you know? So I think Emily would make a great tiling car. The biggest difference seems to me comes in the grille here. This one seems to be divided there, whereas this one's all flushed. But actually, that brings me to a point of mine. This is not a finished prototype or a finished canceled car, whatever you want to call it. However, I do have the finished one here, and that is number 29 or 129. I can't believe I have even told the community about this. You know, usually I tell like my friends and I post it on the community, but I completely forgot to. I realized this a little bit ago and I completely blanked about it till now. I have one of these finished prototypes here where the grill there, this part and this part are filled in, divided by that middle section, just like on Todd Crash. So that's so cool. I'm so happy and lucky to have that one. As you can see, 128 is not painted in there. So there's one part that they didn't end up painting. And as you can see there, it is the grill. So I really should be using this one here just because it's all finished. But everything else is the same. So that's awesome. I'm so glad to have shared that with you guys. A couple other cars that are similar to Emily would be Van den Keur, although he's a little bit more boxy and not quite as long. He also has a license plate, so it seems Emily's riding illegal. And so is Todd, no license plates. Now, some cars from Cars 1, like Michael Sparkber. He's much bigger and a little bit more oddly shaped. But Emily would fit right in with all the Rusty's cars, like Mike here himself. You know, the Rusty's tent cars. We also have Jonathan Wrenchworth's here from the Rusty's commercial. He's thinner, but still a Rusty sedan / coupe. Emily's obviously a coupe though. These ones I'm showing you have all been sedans. 4-door. And here is Brad Windmiller, a nice, not rusty car. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section below now that we have a ton of collar pin cars. I'll just put some of them here on the screen. Which one is your favorite? You know, even Sweet Tea, the new release of her included. We'll bring in Andrew. I think Andrew is still my favorite because I love the fact that he's based on El Camino, which is obviously a real life car, and El Caminos are really, really cool. They're classic cars, right, guys? And yeah, Emily is a cool one indeed, although she doesn't fit the top of my list. Now, one interesting thing I did forget to mention about her is that she was going to be a Super Chase when she was released, at least according to the poster there, which I already showed you guys. So who knows, maybe the Super Chase is the reason she got canceled, because it is a little ironic that the only Super Chase from the collar pin or whatever got canceled and she was made in China instead of Thailand. I just find it so crazy to me to think that she was made in China. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was some employee's mistake. They're like, okay, we're passing all these cars on to Thailand. Vanden, you go. Xanadu, go. Andrew, go. And they just forgot to send Emily over. They forgot to send the specs over for Emily. And then she just got produced. And then they're like, wait a second, you're not meant to be produced. And then they're like, okay, stop. And then she just got canceled. So unfortunate but it just is how it is. Hopefully, though, in the future, we'll see a reappearance of her. But thank you guys for watching day 2 of the 12 Days of Christmas. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3. Bye now.